Hello, I'm Jim White, and I'm here with Brad Dude, author of What Makes You Tick and What Ticks You Off, How the Basic Elements of Temperament Will Lead You to a Happier Life. Welcome, Brad. That is a catchy title. Tell us about your book.
Well, thank you. My co-author, the late Jim Harden, and I used to be teaching leadership classes, and we would always use a module of for temperament. And many of our participants asked for a non-academic kind of user-friendly book on temperament that would explain the four temperaments, and we use earth, air, fire, and water to describe the four basic elements of temperament that we're all born with. And some said, I need it to help me do performance appraisals or working better with my boss or with my coworkers or even my spouse or significant other. So we felt that was important. And so we started to write this book, and we got to Ken Blanchard, the noted author of The 1 Minute Manager, and his son Scott to write the foreword for us. And so we were very happy with this book. Now, temperament is something that we're all born with. We're born with the four basic elements of temperament in us, and they're stacked in order, kind of like plates, with the first plate being our dominant temperament, whether it's earth, air, fire, or water, a secondary temperament, a third, a tertiary one, and then the last one is important. We call it the shadow temperament. Oftentimes that gets us a little bit in trouble, but we can talk about that. And our book really focuses a lot on the shadow. Ken Blanchard thought that was a real significant aspect of our book. Now, the four temperaments. My late co-author Jim Harden, he used to go fishing. He was quite a fisherman, and he would say a good way to describe the four elements were that sometimes the dominant earth guest would come to go fishing with him, and they'd be there way ahead of time. They'd have all their gear all planned out and ready, and they'd want to know what time we're going to leave and where they're going to go exactly. And so it was a very planned experience. Where if there was a dominant air temperament coming to go fishing with Jim, they were curious about the type of bait we're going to use, the type of hook, the kind of fish, the depth at which we would go for that. They were very curious about the details and the information, and really enjoyed that. When a dominant water would come fishing with Jim, they would just enjoy the overall experience. They'd love the breeze and the sun and the water, and enjoy the relationship and get to know Jim a little bit better. And of course, they wouldn't want him to kill the fish that they caught, because they were very sensitive to that. And finally, the fires Jim enjoyed, because he was a dominant fire himself, and he would call up a friend of his at the last minute and say, "Hey, you want to go fishing in 5 minutes?" And they'd say, "Sure." And they'd go. They just would want to have a good time. And sometimes they wouldn't even go fishing. They'd end up at the local bar talking about fishing, So those were the four. We all have them, and they help us get along with other people a little bit better.
Very, very good. So how does it lead us to a happier life?
Well, we believe that instead of treating people the way we want to be treated, treating people like ourselves, kind of with the golden rule idea, it's more of a, if you will, a platinum rule, where we want to treat others the way they want to be treated. So that means by understanding ourself and our dominant temperament especially, and the other temperaments as well of the people that on our teams or in our organizations or in our family, we understand them better, and we don't ascribe a negative characteristic to the behaviors that we see them. And so the idea is that it reduces conflict in our lives, and that makes us happier.
Excellent. So you do temperament workshops. You do this with clients and teach people how to use temperament.
Exactly right. We do a half day and full day and even longer sessions, often coupled with leadership training, and we run them for a variety of government and private sector clients. We now are on LinkedIn under my name, Brad Dude. We've got a new LinkedIn group called Temperament and Leadership Network. So please join. It's all free. Keep up with ideas about temperament. And you can get our books on Amazon. This first book led us to writing 4 additional books. Jim helped co-author the second one, and then I continued to write. As I continued to write more temperament books, and we have both fiction and nonfiction to explore a little bit more deeper the concept of temperament.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So stay tuned. This is the second in a series on temperament with Brad Dude. Thank you.